Hello, Chiquis.
Welcome to Chatty Amigas, a podcast where two friends approach everyday problems and find practical solutions.
We are your hosts. I'm Mafe.
And I'm Ella. So, self-esteem, huh? Well, some of us lack it. Some of us can do better. Some of us need to tone it down. And some of us have it just right.
Apparently. So today we spill the tea on self-esteem.
All right. Self-esteem, guys. So it's very interesting because it can shift moment to moment and day to day. Sometimes your sense of self-worth is high and you'll feel like nothing can stop you. Like you're invincible, you got this, you're modeling about maybe, I don't know. Nothing can bring you down. Then, shortly afterwards, your mind may become flooded with these intense negative thoughts, and then you go down. So maybe start scrolling through social media with like self-confidence after a great post, but then afterwards you feel like it didn't do as well as you wanted it to, I guess, in the likes department. You can feel this change in your self-esteem several times a day, even within the same hour. To me, that sounds so exhausting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Having high self-esteem takes energy every single day. It can be super exhausting, and research shows that constant pursuit of high self-esteem is not healthy. Commit to improving your well-being by learning how to improve self-esteem without making it your top priority. So, what is it? By the way, we're going to link this down below if you want to look at the article because it's phenomenal.
And
Take a gander at it.
Remember, we're not doctors or psychologists, so this is just all there in the internet and our unwanted opinion.
It is wanted. They're coming here for a reason. Hey.
That's true. So just remember that.
Yes, and the beauty of life is you get to make your own choices.
As always.
As always. So, before you can care for yourself, because like, what is it, right? According to Kristen Neff, who writes and talks extensively about her research on self-compassion as an alternative to self-esteem, the way self-esteem can fluctuate is a big part of its problem. So, is how it focuses on judgment of others, ourselves, and of others. Self-esteem refers to the degree to which we value ourselves positively. It represents how much we like or value ourselves and is often based on comparisons with others. That's what she said, okay? So it revolves around your opinion of yourself and what you've accomplished. When we're surrounded by social media and inundated with lifestyle content, which is like flooding, like a whoosh of it, our opinion of ourselves can help it like be relative. So self-esteem can take a hit every time you open your news feed. It can affect how you practice your self-talk, like you got this, you could do this. If you assess yourself and find yourself lacking, you may focus on negative thoughts and self-criticism. However, the opposite can also happen for people too concerned about preserving their self-esteem. They might focus on building themselves up and putting others down to feel better. While saying positive things to yourself or saying positive things to yourself helps counter automatic negative thoughts, it's okay to check in on whether the interior voice is constantly comparing. Whether if it's like comparing for the good, comparing for the bad, is something we should focus on. Like notice if you constantly think you're good enough, if you constantly think you are not good enough, it can affect your relationships, your physical health, and how well you do with your job.
That's so true. So there's a difference between self-esteem and confidence. So your self-esteem affects how you see yourself. In contrast, your self-confidence dictates how you perceive your own skills and talents. Your self-esteem results from your life experiences, beginning in your childhood. So any trauma you've experienced, dramatic life changes in your environment impact your self-esteem. Even at a young age, your self-esteem begins to fluctuate and develop. You build self-confidence in a specific situation by developing and using your own skills and prior experience related to the task. Believing in your abilities to complete a task while doubting your self-worth is an example of having high self-confidence but low self-esteem. So why is it important to pay attention to it? So take time to pay attention to how you speak to yourself. It is a good indicator of how well you take care of yourself. Yes, self-esteem fluctuates, but lower self-esteem can signal something in your life it's harming your well-being. And if you have high self-esteem, you could be practicing some excellent self-care. So self-esteem issues can creep up on you. It doesn't take much out of your day to take a moment and notice how events affect your mood and self-esteem. Pay attention to other people's self-esteem too. If you notice a loved one or a coworker is voicing a lot of self-doubt, they might need your support. Once you've identified where you want to improve, it's hard to figure out your first steps. If you're looking for help getting started, this website has a link for Better Up, which you can support like personalized coaching or something like that. And it's gonna help cultivate self-esteem and self-compassion. We're not sponsored by them. It's just here in this link. So if you're interested in doing that, you can check them out. Or there's a lot of other ways of getting started in bettering your self-esteem.
Yeah. And I think it's super important just to like be mindful of it because it can affect everything, like your work, how you do things at home, your relationships, like how you see your self-worth as a person. I find that to be super important. I'm a big believer, fake it till you make it. Like you have to just like tell yourself you're amazing. You're amazing. Even if you don't think you're amazing, you're like, whatever, you have these flaws. It's fine. It's fine. No há crise, like I like to say, no há crise, which equals to there's no crisis. It's Portuguese. No hay crisis. No há crise. Everything's okay. You got arms, probably. You're alive, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to just focus. Like you might have this flaw, but like it's fine. Like people have them. It's not that serious.
It's true.
Physically, emotionally, yeah.
I don't know if you heard that. That's a big motorcycle driving by.
I heard absolutely nothing.
Okay, well, good. It's like
we'll find
super
out.
loud. I guess
we'll find out.
And that's very true. I do believe in that too. Fake until you make it. There's days where I feel unbelievably amazing and I walk around the office like I own the place. And like people can tell, people can see it. Like, I wear a blazer and it's like a power suit. It makes a big difference on the way I view myself and my worth and my work ethic and everything. And there's days where I find myself comparing myself to others and then I have to stop. And I've caught those thoughts in the process and I now recognize them. So learning to recognize them is the best great step for stopping them.
Yeah. I agree. And like sometimes you can look at someone and be like, wow, they're so successful like, compared to me. But like, are they though? Are they? What is making them successful and what's stopping you from obtaining half of it? Or like if we look at social media, we have to remember it's their highlights. It's not their everyday life. So like, and I will tell you something. I know I've mentioned it. I
spill the tea.
I know I've mentioned in season 1 when couples are like, oh my God, he got me flowers. Oh my God, he got me this. That means things are bad. Just throwing that out there. The quieter ones are like, they're solid. Things come up, things happen, it's life, but they're solid, and I also wanted to throw this. Go ahead. What were we gonna say?
No, I said yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, that was a yeah.
I was finishing yawning, and then I wanted to like.
Oh my God.
Help, just like yeah. Your sentence.
That's so funny.
I agree.
Hilarious.
Go ahead. You were saying something.
Someone can have self-esteem and be nervous. Like that doesn't mean that you lack self-confidence. It just means that like, I don't know, this is gonna work out. We'll find out, and that's it. But you can like manage the situation. So like if you talk, oh my God, I will tell you what happened to me the other day. This is so bizarre. So I'm spilling the tea. So I went out Saturday night dancing with some friends. And I could have sworn that this guy was there that I saw Sunday, the next day. I was like, oh my God. And Sunday, my girlfriend and I, we were looking at him and we're like, that was the guy that was at the party yesterday, went out dancing, whatever. And we're like, yeah, I think so. So I know that like I was going to end up crossing paths with him later that day. And I did. And I went up to him and I was like, hey, what'd you do last night? because you look really familiar. Oh my God. Socially awkward he was. Made him, like, I felt so bad.
My gosh.
And
It was not him.
it was not him. I made him so uncomfortable. I think. I'm not really sure, but the conversation just did its own thing. It did not come out as I thought it would in my head. And he's a sweetie. Like, I ended up talking to him more because I'm like, all right, maybe he just doesn't really go out much because that happens, especially
Yeah.
after pandemic. Like, people kind of, I feel, lost
Mhm.
themselves a bit.
Mhm.
Very sweet. Very sweet. I would totally hang out with them another day.
Mhm.
Like, if I see him, I go like, hey, dude, how you doing? He's a good time. But he was really awkward when I first met him. I got nervous. I got uncomfortable. That easily can bring I feel someone's self-confidence down when people don't react the way in a positive way.
Mhm.
But I've taught myself, like, who cares? Like, because I'm not doing anything wrong. I just asked you that I see you yesterday. Someone could be like, no, like, they could be awkward. I'll be like, all right, cool. Peace.
Yeah.
Done. Like, it's not even, no
That's
más
it.
Cris. It's not a big deal. So we can be nervous. People with high self-esteem. Yes, I have high self-esteem. I don't know if it's too high, but it's there. And I have a hard time relating to people that have low self-esteem within a certain degree because I used to have extremely low self-esteem. And the one thing that helped me, honest to God, was I literally, I remember hating doing this. I would look at myself in the mirror. I would just stare. Mirror, right? The thing. Can you say it your way? Because I don't know if people understand my accent.
You
Mirror.
said mirror.
Okay, that.
Yeah, I understood what you said.
You know me.
Mirror.
You understand. But
The
people not.
the
People,
listeners already know when you said mirror, coffee, walk. They already know.
Why are you adding a you?
Walk, coffee. Well, that walk
No,
doesn't. The walk is a walk. I don't know.
it's a W is thrown in there somehow. Walk,
Coffee.
saw, coffee.
Mirror.
That's how you do it.
Mirror. I understood.
I forget about it. I don't
But you
even
were
know.
forget about it. You were saying when I look myself in the mirror, people know what you're talking about because you were saying you were looking yourself.
Listen,
coming up next is a mirror.
But sometimes people ask me to explain, and I didn't want to be ignorant and rude, so I didn't want to assume.
It's not like my accent makes it any better.
Your accent's beautiful. Stop. I can't even with you. We're done here. It's sexy. Are you kidding me? Who doesn't like listening to a sexy Colombian accent? Are you kidding me right now?
Did you just call me sexy on air?
You're sexy. Come on, please.
Lord, it got hot up in this place.
I can't with you. I'm
just kidding.
So, anyways.
Okay, you were looking at yourself in the
mirror.
mirror.
What I used to do, going back to the topic at hand, this is what helped me get self-esteem. I kid you not. This is my secret, okay?
Okay.
I looked at myself in the mirror every day in my eyes, which is like terrifying, okay? And I would be like, what do you mean?
Like when you stare at yourself for long enough and you don't move your eyes and then everything starts like moving around.
No. Wiggle. Don't do that. That doesn't sound good. Like,
it's super creepy. So you didn't stare long enough.
I mean, I don't know what you're doing in your own pastime. I mean, I'll support you, but no. You're gonna look yourself in the eyes and you're gonna say one thing you like about yourself. One. Start easy. Don't like say I love my imperfections here. No, don't do that. Let's not lie to ourselves because we all know you hate it. Like, okay, I got nice X, whatever. And it's something people compliment you on constantly. Okay. Say it out loud.
Eyebrows.
Yes, you have beautiful eyebrows.
I got good eyebrows. That I'm proud of, and I will show them off everywhere I go. I love my eyebrows. I got fantastic eyebrows.
You do you, girl.
Thank you.
Hey. You're welcome. And I used to look at myself in the face every day. And I would say something out loud as I looked at myself. Next day, you do the same thing again. Sorry, I'm passionate. Next day, you do the same thing again. You look yourself dead in the eyes and you see something else you like about yourself. Yeah. And you keep doing it until you run out of the things you actually like. And then you have faced with the stuff you don't like. And then you look at it and you're like, I don't like, let's say you have acne. I don't like that I have acne. But at least my face looks normal. Or at least I don't have a disease. Or at least I have a cheek. You know what I mean? Like, if that is your case. If not, then Be grateful you're here. Be
Finding
grateful.
positivity every day, finding something to be grateful for.
Yes. So that honest to God, it helped me. And then I had to fake it. I had self-esteem. So like I would go out in life, I would say something shocking. People would react, they'd be like, yeah, you heard me. And I'd walk away. And I would walk away and I'd turn that corner and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said, oh my God, I'm such a loser. Like I would do that. And it got to like it just became part of me. And it's actually something a lot of people compliment me on is my directness. So like, okay. So I mean, it's nice to be tactful. I try to be tactful.
Yeah,
But like
no, we get it.
these things help me. And I'm grateful I did it because I feel like I do have I think I have a healthy form of self-esteem. I don't know. Like I haven't heard any complaints as of yet.
Well,
But
it
I'm
works
also
for you.
it works for me. I'm also aware that I'm not the Queen of Sheba. And I'm also aware that I'm not like Beyonce. Okay. So like
I am Beyonce always.
All right, you do.
There are some people that will understand that quote, some won't, and that's okay.
It's fine. I am not one of those that will, so.
No, yeah, I know you wouldn't. It's from The Office, because I know you haven't like fully watched it.
I really haven't watched it, no.
Some of the listeners
I
are gonna have a heart
I work in an
attack.
office environment.
Some are gonna have a heart attack that they just found that out about you, but that's okay. But there's an
What?
episode where
That I don't think I'm Beyonce?
No, that you haven't watched The Office.
Guys, I'll get to it. Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But he says, I am Beyonce always. So yeah.
Who said that? Was it Dwight?
Michael. No, it's
Michael, I could see that. Yeah. Okay.
He's Beyonce always.
Apparently.
Yeah, all of us are Beyonce always. Well, we try to. But anyways, sorry.
No, you're good.
Proceed with our topic.
So, what can lower self-esteem? Things that can lower it are things like people in your life, your environment, your mindset. Understanding what causes your self-esteem to drop helps you make an action plan on how you can help it thrive and build self-awareness, which is super important. Perhaps you're unsure about what factors we're talking about here, Mafia and I. So we're just going to give you a quick list here that we see on betterup.com. First one is abuse. Super serious stuff. Abusive and difficult relationships with your parents, either during childhood or adulthood, can harm your self-esteem. This is some research that's been found that physical and emotional abuse by parents or other adults is a major factor in low self-esteem. I agree 110% with this. This is why I take children very seriously, especially teenagers. I will tell you something. Can I say something that drives me bananas? I will be having a conversation with a teenager, 13, 14 years old, whatever. Okay? They got feelings. They got opinions. They're not going to talk about it. Why they're not going to talk about it? Because adults don't usually show interest. And you have to be careful, right? You don't want to come off as a creep either because they're minors. But like, talk to them. Mm-hmm. I cannot stand when I'm having a conversation with a teenage child and someone comes and walks in front of them, like they're not even there. This happens all the time. And they start a completely different conversation. Mm-hmm. Like the kid is even there. You know what they do? These teenagers do like, oh, and they start turning around.
They shrug.
Yeah. They literally shrug and they turn. I'm like, wait, don't leave. Wait. And then the adult look at me, turn around like, oh, I'm sorry you were talking. I'm like, no, I'm crazy. I was talking to the wall. What the hell you think I was doing? As a human being, I'm literally having a conversation with a human being. You felt you were more important than this kid. What the heck do you think that's going to do to the kid's self-esteem? Mm-hmm. You tell me. This is why it drives me nuts. You see an adult having a conversation with a kid, leave them be. You see them having a conversation with someone that's a little dweeby, leave them be. If you feel that your conversation is that important that you need to interrupt, do it in a graceful, respectful way. These are human beings, okay? Do to those as you would like done to yourself. Don't go and walk in front of these kids like they're nothing and have a whole conversation. No, this is what you do. I don't care if they're 6 years old. You look at the 6 years old and you go, excuse me, may I interrupt for a second? This is polite. This is etiquette because not only are you telling the kid that they have self-worth as people, you're teaching them important manners, okay? Because some parents don't know how to do that. So please, as society as a whole, let's treat them well. Let's not be abusive to them within reason, please. And I'm done with my rant. I was super emotional about that, but like it drives me bananas.
That's your soapbox. You got in a soapbox. That I wish you guys could have seen what is happening because I am sitting here very still because I'm afraid if I make a sudden movement, I will awaken the beast. Just
Stop
kidding,
it.
not
The
the
beast
beast.
has come out and went back in.
And
No.
she was flailing her arms and screaming and making faces because she was so passionate. And I just
Well,
sat
you
here
know,
very still because I'm like, I'm not interrupting her. I don't want to interrupt her because then I'm gonna get yelled at too. Just
no.
kidding. I'm not a
You know
kid.
what it is? Is because it's happened too much already this month. Like I'm straight up having conversations with kids, and they're not like 4. They're like 14.
Mm-hmm.
And people keep interrupting, like, guys, hey, do you not see a person here? Like, come on. It
Yeah.
drives me bananas. I don't like it.
Yeah, no,
I don't
I
like it.
feel it. I understand, and I agree 100% with you. If I'm gonna talk to a child or someone that's a teenager, I like to take them aside to where it's very obvious that we're having a conversation, and people like notice, and it's kind of awkward because they're like, "Oh my gosh, they're having a conversation over there on the side," which I do that on purpose just so people don't interrupt.
I don't
That's
do it
why
on
I do.
purpose because I feel like that's weird. Like I'm gonna come off a certain way, personal. This is how I feel. And I want the kid to feel like they're normal. I don't want like, oh, we could always talk on the side, because that's what they used to do to me. No, like I want to have a conversation with you, like I'm not embarrassed of you in the middle of everyone, and someone has
No,
the
but I don't.
audacity to interrupt. I know you're not. I know
No,
you're not.
I'm not doing that to make them feel weird, and like I don't want people seeing them
Oh,
like that.
I used to feel
No,
so weird.
no, I just pull them slightly aside. It's not like I'm going to a corner and I like people
That
cannot know
made
that
me
we're talking.
uncomfortable. As a teenager, that always made me uncomfortable. Maybe, I don't know, did that make you uncomfortable?
No,
Do you remember feeling not uncomfortable about it?
no, I didn't care.
Well, I guess different personalities. To me, it came off like they were embarrassed to be seen with me.
No, because I'm not pulling them aside to where people can see us. I'm pulling them slightly away from the crowd where everybody
Literally
is
how I
walking
felt.
around.
But I felt like that. I don't know. If it works for you, you do it. I'm not judging you.
No,
I'm not
no.
there. I don't know. And you're a very like animated person, so I
Yeah.
just remember sometimes I would feel awkward,
Mm.
but I also like didn't really have a lot of friends. So like it's probably could have been like, oh, they're embarrassed to be seen with
No,
me in the middle.
all I'm doing is like making them laugh. That's my biggest.
And
Or
after
I come and
people,
sit next to them and I talk to them when they're sitting.
it's nice. I like that. That's pretty. When I would they're pretty. When I would go to,
It is
it's
pretty.
nice of you. It's
I
pretty.
look pretty doing it too.
You do
Hey,
always.
speaking of self-esteem.
So like, so and then another thing I do after the people leave, or if I'm left alone with the kid, like minutes later, I'll be like, listen, I just wanted to apologize for their behavior. That was very rude. I don't like when people interrupt. I tell them straight up.
Yeah, it's good. It helps them see their worth.
Yeah,
I
because
like
they're
that.
worth something. They're future guys. Like
They are worth everything. What do you
they're
mean
worth it.
something?
Oh
They're
God.
worth everything. Come
Yes.
on.
So changing the way we think and how we treat people, like teenagers, is
The
is
mindset.
yay.
That's the next. Good job. That's the
Thank you.
next point. A pessimistic attitude and fixed mindset lowers self-esteem because it overwhelms your mind with negative thoughts. You're reminded that you aren't good enough or that nothing positive will happen to you, and your confidence suffers. Yeah,
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
proceed.
Yeah. Life events. Yeah, we're on the list, guys. Abuse, mindset, life events. Just recapping.
Oh yeah.
Life events. While some life events uplift you, others lower your self-esteem. An example of this is if you're taking a hard course at school and you failed a few assignments, you start criticizing yourself and the opinion on your accomplishments become poor. Graduating from school, changing jobs, or moving cities could also affect you personally. I agree with this 110% because there's certain things that I do. Okay, so I'm pretty self-confident. I have pretty high self-esteem. There are certain things, my efficacy just woof, like, or
That
the
you
way
what?
my efficacy.
Efficacy. Okay, thank you.
Let's look this up because I think it's a phenomenal word,
No.
and I'm going to
You
be a
said
geek
it.
now.
No, you said it. I heard that, but it also sounded differently, and I just wanted you to enunciate that better because
I'm
you
going to
speak that fast
explain.
sometimes.
I really do. I'm going to explain. It's by New York. Like, what do you want me to do? So the efficacy means the ability to produce a desired or intended result, but like you do it in a way where it's like, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Let me
like
see
being
what
efficient.
Webster Merriam says.
It's like being efficient. But efficacy comes from what you do and the results from it.
See if Merriam-Webster has a better. I love Merriam-Webster. That's like the one dictionary we used in college. I have an English degree, guys, so like this was a big deal. Not like trying to toot my own horn.
Flex.
Is it a flex? I don't even know.
Oh, you need to talk about your accomplishments. Speaking of self-esteem.
Having the power to produce a desired effect. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a very good word. I quite love this word. My efficacy goes woof, it goes down. So like when me and Eric were working on the house, good God, trying to demolish something. And you have no idea because you work in an office all day. And you're like, dang, why is this hard? And then a man just stops by, like, I don't know, Eric, my husband, and goes with this, just this, the kick of a heel,
Yeah.
boom, and the whole thing falls apart. You're like, dang, like I was going at this with a hammer, and then my efficacy whoosh down, which is dumb because I don't build houses every day. You know, I don't do this stuff. But then I learned, oh, it just depends on where you hit it.
Yeah. If you hit a stud, you're gonna stay there for a long time. You gotta hit between the studs.
Or like trying to demolish something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it depends on where you hit it. It's like, you know, the center force of gravity or whatever it is. I don't know. It's something sciencey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I agree. But just because if you struggling with something during like a big life event or a life change doesn't mean it's gonna define who you are as a person. You will get better, you will learn. So something else that affects is social standards. One survey from college freshmen found that 65% of them said they base their self-worth on their appearance. Kids. External sources like approval of others and body image cause your self-esteem to lower at any time. It might be difficult to regain them. That's very true even as you get older, because sometimes you compare your own body image to like your friends that are your same age, or somebody that just had a kid and they have an amazing body, and like DNA and genes affect all that stuff. But if you are focusing on that stuff and trying to compare yourself, that will affect your self-esteem a lot.
You know what also does it? And I learned this as I got older. I started comparing my body to what it was when I was 20.
No, yeah.
Like, I really can't do that. That's very unhealthy on so many levels. So I'm like, what?
Yeah. No, I was a cheerleader in high school. Lord. Did I have muscles and like abs and flexible and like all this athletic stuff. And now my knees hurt. You know?
So what I did with my situation is I decided to do something about it. So I started like changing certain lifestyle choices in order so my body could go back to a healthier version of what it should now. And because my body's different, like I there's no way it's gonna go back to what it was when I was 20. It's impossible. Right. Physiologically, it's impossible. Not only did like things just change because you know every 7 years your body changes, but also I grew 2 inches after I was 20, which is insane. It literally stopped. Mafe, I literally stopped growing at 25 years old. Like, who does that?
Guess what? I just stopped growing.
I don't want to answer this.
Please do.
15?
Yeah.
Oh, snaps.
Yeah, I've stayed little. I probably stopped growing like at 12 or 13, actually, like 14.
I stopped growing at 12, 13.
Yeah.
And I remember everyone surpassing me. And then I turned 24, I shot up an inch. I was like, all right. And then at 25, I shot up another inch. I'm like, I don't understand. Apparently, it's common. It can happen. Because now when I walk down the street, I actually got to watch out for the tree branches. Don't hit me in the face. That was shocking the first time it happened. Branches. Your I do not sound Southern, but thank you.
Your accent is very new. Well, I didn't mean to sound Southern. That was bad. Very New Jersey and today.
What do you mean? I don't do this often. Apparently.
When you get passionate, it comes out.
All right. So like I didn't really realize that. And yes, she's looking at me like I have 7 heads. I had no idea. And I went to Arizona for a wedding this last summer. And this Texan lady, you know, I don't know, Texan, New Jersey, I don't know. We swirl around one another a little bit. No disrespect to lovely Texans. I respect you people. You have your nice thing going on. That's fine. No acadies. But She looked at me dead in the face and goes, "Your accent changes when you're passionate." I'm like, "How about I show you my passion with my fist? Eh? How about that? How about
Yeah,
we
it
leave my
does.
accent alone?" Because it's
Yeah.
just, But like, yeah. So I don't like that I know this now.
Yeah,
She
it
ruined
does.
it for me, but it is
Oh,
what it
I'm
is.
sorry. I just called you out
You
because it
did, but it's
does.
fine. I love. We'll talk about this later. No kidding.
Yeah.
No, I know. I know it
We're
does.
going to talk about it off the air.
Yeah, yeah. We're taking it outside, okay? Hey,
Yeah.
Butch. No I'm kidding. No, it's fine. It is what it is. It's just,
Yeah,
I don't like that it does that. It just like it does its own thing, but it's
it
it's
does.
real. It's because I want people to think I'm faking. I'm not faking it. It really is how I talk. Like,
Yeah.
but anyways, besides the point. What are we talking about?
The next one, goal
No,
settings.
no. It was something about self-esteem.
Oh, your
The
body.
outside. Ah, oh my God, we're just like jumping about today. Let me tell you.
It's fine.
So I had a good night's sleep. I don't know what you want me to tell you. I also sat in an office all day from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I spoke to a total of about 3 people. Do you know what it does to people that love talking like me? It drives me bananas. So, Muffy, I don't know how you don't talk more, honest to God. Because you last episode, you were saying there are 3 days. So then you go 3 days without hearing your own voice.
I don't know what we're talking about now. I'm so lost. You were talking about your body and how you did something to change it.
I'm
And now
gonna
you're
go
talking about your voice. I am so lost.
talking. I'm talking so much today. I keep bouncing about
Oh,
because I
yeah, you
barely talked to
are.
people today. And it drove me up bananas. And I don't
That's
know. Because last episode you said that there are times there are 3 days go by you don't
well,
even hear your own voice. I'm like,
but
how do you do that?
I can't interrupt you when you're venting. Like you're so passionate about these things and I'm just listening.
Can I
I
just
have
say the one thing then and then you go ahead and your rant?
no, I have nothing to say. Proceed.
See,
This
that's
is
my
fine.
point. You have nothing to say. My
Because
skin's
you're
crawling. Like I was quiet all day.
both them talk. That's why the listeners are here.
Oh, yeah, that's the way. All right, so body, lifestyle choices. I'm changing, and I like it. I like how my body is now, actually more than when I was 20. And I like that things are like muscles are coming back, and it's really cool to see it. Granted, it takes me longer than when I was 25, but like you see it happen, and it's like wow, and it's nice. So like I hope I keep up with this because I quite like it. And you see the weight dropping. I fit into my goal dress like 2 months ago. I haven't fit into that thing in 6 years, so that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you have to not you cannot compare to like unrealistic things. I'll never be 20 again. My body can't be 20. It's literally impossible. And then we have social media. Let me tell you something. It took away my Instagram and all that stuff. I have it, but I don't use it. So I don't like I tell people I don't really have it because it was giving me anxiety on for multiple reasons. We're not even going to get into that. But then when we started doing the podcast, I started going back on the social media because it's important. Oh, the stress. I started looking, I was like, wait, why does everyone look the same? Like, I didn't understand that there was this whole thing going on with filters and body change or whatever. That's something someone wants to do. By all means, do you. This is not a problem. But I just don't like that we're putting out there versions of ourselves that aren't real because sometimes we're not doing certain things. And then we have all these crazy filters. And it's like, it messes with everybody. And then we see you. And we know that's not what you look like. So
We
why
just
try?
talked about it in one of the last episodes we just did. That girl that I was trying to find the answer, like for that guy that was supposed to be married, and we went deep and like we were looking at all their pictures because we found his girlfriend and we found all their pictures and we're like, oh, those are cute pictures. And then we went on her page and then there was a picture that was taken down like by a professional, and I was like, you do not look like that girl. You do not look like that because all her pictures were full of filters. Yeah,
Yes.
it's crazy.
It is
Fine.
crazy. And it's like it's affecting the younger people. And if we choose bodies that don't exist, if we don't celebrate that everyone has their own differences, this is not good. Like I remember growing up, it was always the magazines. Oh, the models, the magazines are too thin. Feed them. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know how true that is, but definitely social media is affected because these are everyday people. This is not even a model. It's a person that like lives in your town. I think that does more damage than good sometimes. But topic for another day, another hour.
Yeah.
Goal setting. Was that me or you?
You
You want to you take it. I've been going. Go.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Next one is goal setting. And setting goals is great if you know how to set them properly. When you set goals that are unattainable and unrealistic, it makes you think poorly of yourself when you don't achieve them. Even if those goals weren't achievable in the first place, your self-esteem takes a hit. So yeah, definitely start with little things like going for a walk or doing 5 push-ups if you want to better your body, or if you're wanting to read more, like picking up a quick, easy book, something that's an easy read, little things that are achievable. Don't go like trying to run 3 miles in a day when you haven't worked out in 3 years, you know. So little things that are achievable. That way you can increase your self-esteem little by little.
You're good at that.
I do.
You're
I
good
have,
at it. Yeah. Tell them what you do.
I
If you
do.
don't mind sharing. If
No,
you
I
want to
don't.
keep it private, that's okay too.
No, I don't care. Oh, it's fine. I have something. They're called power sheets, as in like pages, and
Don't worry, you didn't curse. You're fine.
thank you.
You're welcome.
At the beginning of the year, you work really hard, really deep to dig everything out that matters in your life that you want, or that you want to better, and you categorize your like things in your life like finances, family, friendships, health, spirituality, wealth, those types of things, and you kind of pick a number from 1 to 10 and how you feel that you are, um, how you're doing in that category in your life, and how you want to work towards getting better. So every month you set little goals, little achievable steps towards achieving a bigger goal. So every month you set little things, like I have goals of like getting outdoors time every day or taking a walk every day. And that's because I want to better my health overall. So little things, little steps, baby steps. So it really helps out. So that's something that I do. So I have monthly goals, I have weekly goals, and I have daily goals. So my daily goals is like, for example, getting outdoors time every day and going for a walk every day, drinking 64 ounces of water every day, something little that's achievable. My weekly goals, for example, I actually don't even know what well, it's a new month and I haven't done my monthly
I'm not
goals.
done.
But my
Show them what you did last month if you want.
But my weekly goals were to read a page from a new book I got every week, because I read something else every night, and to check with some new friends that I've made. So to check with them every week just to make sure like they're doing fine. So just to build that friendship, to build better friendships, better relationships.
I think this is phenomenal. I didn't know you did this.
Oh, girl,
Lovely.
I'm sure I've shown you, but it's been a long
I've
time.
seen the sheets before, but I didn't know that's like checking up on the new friends,
Oh,
reading a
you
new book.
choose.
I was like, oh, good
You
chic.
you choose you choose what you want to work on every month. And
I
like
don't know. I find that phenomenal.
this
I don't know.
month, my monthly goals, I think I achieved them way before the month ended. Like
Oh, okay. You
one
go
of
superstar.
no, stop it. It's very little things. Like one of them
It
was,
doesn't matter. That's the point.
oh
Like,
yeah. But okay, well, thank you. We're talking
you're
about
welcome.
self-esteem. It's not a
Yeah,
superstar, I guess.
you are a
One of them was
superstar.
getting a massage,
Oh,
and
oh
I did.
yes.
It was
Good for
fantastic.
you.
And another one was to finish my CEU classes for my license renewal and to house it for somebody. And I achieved those things. And there's other things that I don't want to share because they're private.
Oh, for sure. You
But
don't need to
little
announce
things like
everything.
just stuff like that. But little
Yeah.
goals that really do help, that I'm like, oh, hey, I did all of this. And it helps me at the end of the month, because sometimes the month goes by and you don't know what you did. And you feel like, man, this month went by and I did nothing productive. Lies. I look back at my power sheets and I was like, oh my God, look at all that I achieved. Makes me feel
That's
really good
very
about myself.
nice. Good. I'm
Yes.
proud of you, superstar. Doing things early.
Stay tuned, Chiquis, for the second part of the episode coming out next Tuesday.